BYE. Be your environment. Be in your empties. It's a green initiative. It's a green messaging theatre. What we really are trying to do is tap into the psyche of the festival goer that has been, in a sense, over the years, 10, 20 years of festival going, have been, in a sense, they've been falsely led into thinking it's okay to let go of your waste where you're standing. Somebody else will pick it up. A team of litter pickers, a waste company will remove it for you. And somehow I think this is a little bit unnecessary. I think everyone individually should be responsible for their own waste, their own rubbish, and fundamentally it has a value. It has a value to me because I like to make things out of it, but it has a value. Aluminium is a value. And it's not that I'm trying to get the kids aware of its value, no, not necessarily, but just pick it up. So incentivising, I think, the pickup is the secret, and being fun and being theatre, and that's what the EYE is initially trying to do, is put the fun back into rubbish. You know? Solar powered, 24 hours a day. Yes, with a little bit of social acupuncture, we're trying to just ease them into the understanding that you don't have to just let it go. You can collect it up in your camp, be green, a little bit clean. It's good to be clean, and just bring it back and get a t-shirt or get a beer, get whatever the incentive is. And we do it all with theatre, fun, and art. And that's really what it's about. That's we're not your average, let's say, you know, how can I say, you know, propaganda group trying to get a message across with, you know, it's not a mechanism, it's not a machine, you know, there isn't just bag handout going on, it's an interaction. It's a beautiful interaction that the fun, funky, theatrical people we have meet the people, greet the people, and get the message across. And you'll find that the spread will happen naturally. Because I think everybody really in their heart doesn't like to throw on the floor, they just need the facility.
I like collecting rubbish. Yeah!
Yeah!
Bring it!
Yeah!
Thank you very much, thank you!
And we're trying to provide a facility in a very understandable way for the people, you know, which is they're here to have a good time. We're not here to preach to them, we're here to kind of enjoy it with them. And that's why we have music, that's why we have art, that's why we have performance and fun. It's to try and, you know, fit in this crazy festival world.
We also say like the plastic around them and the cardboard. Anything recyclable. Like just say, see that dragon? Making a dragon out of cans.
I seen that on TV actually.
Maybe first cover it. So yeah,
So
like,
just bring it all up.
yeah, bring them in situation. Great, cheers.
We'll see you later. Yeah, bye.
See you later. You can bring phones to the
We're just trying to juggle and kind of create a bit of an atmosphere so that people will be more encouraged to recycle and keep their campsite clean.
We're operating an interesting green zone here at Oxygen. We're in Oxygen 2011, and we brought a solar-powered sound system, and we brought the sun. That's my little buzz. Is in 9 years or so, they've only had one weekend of sun, and we came here this time with a solar-powered system. And there's our tower over there, if you want to put it in. And our system that you see inside is powered from solar, and it's a car stereo 12 volt. It's not intrusive, and yet we can have fun. So we try to be green right through to the core, you know? And they get the message as well. They enjoy it. When they go in the tent and they understand this system is made of solar, they're like buzzing. Kids. And we created this green zone, so we're trying to make another step into understanding this is an area of green let's keep it green. Let's try and salvage, which is the next step, salvaging the stuff they leave behind and seeing if we can, with our Habitat shop around the corner, see if we can get them bringing their stuff they don't want to take home back to us, and we're going to try and get it into a charitable status. Homeless people in Dublin need roll mats and sleeping bags. There are thousands here, you know. There are disasters all around the world happening and they need shelter, they need homes. So Habitat is trying to, which is part of BYE, is trying to salvage this valuable material, which is a perfectly good tents, perfectly good sleeping bags, roll mats, and in a sense try to get it somewhere important. And we've just started that, so it's the baby steps. But we hope to, you know, commit with the festival into trying to make more of this salvage operation. You know, I think it's very important. We're a very wasteful Western species when we look at the world, and we kind of, you know, we pay our ticket, we come in, and we just think it's okay to just walk away and leave everything here, and it's just not, you know. And it's not right to have, you know, foreign nationals being, you know, pushed around the field picking up our waste after us. I mean, that's just not right or ethical either, you know. So I know utopia is no litter pickers, only bins, only servicing bins, and everyone picks up after themselves and returns the waste. That's utopia, but I mean, we'll always need litter pickers. There's enough rubbish in the world for everybody, you know, and certainly at festivals. And you know, we're a slow but sure way of changing the psyche, because the only way you can is to meet each individual and get the message across. Just individual, put it in your bag, bring it back, get an incentive. I mean, it's crazy to think in the rest of Europe, every kind of recycling initiative that's in place, you get back when you use it. In Germany, across Europe, and yet in England and in Ireland, we still have to pay for collecting up our recyclables. We still have to pay for our composting, you know, to be taken away. When really you're separating it, and it's a value. As compost has a value for power, has a value for compost. Plastic has a value. Cans have a value. So why are we being charged in doing the separation for the waste companies, and then we're being charged on top of that as well, which is ridiculous to me. So we need to take a leaf out of the Germanic book and you know, reward the individuals for taking part in recycling, reusing, you know, rejoicing. I don't know really, to be honest. I just like to see the world tidy and clean. I'm a person that you know, can't for the life of me throw anything on the floor. I'm a person that loves nature, and I can't understand how we can come out into a field away from the city and act like pigs and expect somebody else to clean it for us. It's just, I don't think it's right, really. And it's not the guy's fault. This is the way it's been across festival circuits for the last 20-25 years. I've known festivals. It's okay, there are litter pickers. No, it's not okay. You pick it up, and then we don't have to live in the mess. You know, it's quite simple. And we're making headway. I think, you know, in our 5th year now running, operating in many different festivals across Ireland, many independents, but some big ones, we've become known, and people are very responsive and receptive, as you can see in the video footage and the photographs. They are loving it. They're loving the idea. They're loving the fact they're coming back for something. They don't care what it is, whether it's a radio thing, a solar this, or a t-shirt, or a can of beer. They don't care. They're just excited that they're getting back something for doing. And that's good. And that's what we're about. We're a theatre, and we're going to expand into an educational theatre, hoping to go one day into schools, colleges around Ireland, and we can really get this message home, you know. And I don't know, maybe we'll get Ireland on track for recycling, you know, because it's lagging. Let's say it's really lacking in its recycling abilities. It can do much more, much more. And we're a little island, and we could You know, imagine how much aluminium is used in Ireland now, you know. Why aren't we saving it, melting it down and reusing it? But we're not. We're simply shipping it off to China at a cost, and that's silly. We're paying fines from Europe because we're not at the level of recycling we should be. So why? You know, we should look at it. It's more about the waste on the ground, it's more about tidying up than it is carbon tax. Forget about carbon taxes, forget about these things, invisible taxes. Let's look at what this is worth and let's stop putting it into the ground and throwing it away and burying it under the carpet in the landfills, you know, when it's actually got a value, you know, as a material. That's my viewpoint. The point of recycling is it's a material. It's worth something.
Essentially, the real ethos of Bin Your Empties is about trying to encourage kids at festivals to recycle. And we do that in a very straightforward way. We basically ensure that all the resources are made available to the kids so that they can, you know, make their life easy. So we give them a bag, we give them a clear place to bring the bag back to, and then we kind of reward them by giving them a free t-shirt, or this time Heineken have given us a lovely set of MP3 speakers. So something that's like a reasonable enough incentive to do it, you know. And you'll find that there's kind of a spectrum of buy-in to the project. You know, some people will do it because they really want a free t-shirt, you know, and some people will do it because they want the speakers. Then other people will do it because they're just predisposed to recycling. They like the idea, they take it upon themselves to do it. So, you know, and they nearly don't even need an incentive. You know, they're just like, hey, where can I bring my rubbish back to, you know? And then sort of deeper down, like the backdrop of this entire project comes from a desire to do something positive for the planet, you know, and there's this idea that like festivals are held in nature, and you know, nature ultimately is the stage upon which all of this entertainment can happen, you know, and you know, in a sense, in the modern West, the way we live in our urban environments, in our apartments and our houses, we've kind of become removed from the power of nature, you know. So there's this idea that like when, you know, 80,000 hunters climb through essentially a hole in the hedge to enjoy themselves, we see it as like an opportunity to kind of like just open people's eyes a little bit, to say, look, you know, we're living on one planet, how we relate to that planet, you know, ultimately is going to rebound back upon us, you know. And we're essentially the deeper objective with Bin Your Empties is essentially trying to change attitudes and behaviour. Now that all sounds kind of heavy and dense and probably boring as well, but I just want to share the kind of the deeper mechanic driving the whole project, you know. But then, you know, I run an advertising company as well, and I've learned it's, you know, you have to communicate with people in a way that's accessible, and you know, you're in a festival environment, people are here to have fun, so we don't in any way want to be preachy, you know. So it's really all about, you know, trying to meet people, you know, on the same kind of frequency that they're on. They're here to see Beyonce and Coldplay and God knows what, you know. They're here to have a good time, they spend a hell of a lot of money, and they're entitled to have a good time, you know. So we've learned over the years, we get a much better reaction from people when we kind of engage with them in kind of a fun and friendly way, and that's why we've kind of given birth to the creative side of Bin Your Empties, which is like the art or the music. These are elements that kind of like, you know, communicate to the festival audience in a way that's kind of immediately relevant, you know. You know, you've got like people enjoying themselves all around us, you know. So a simple point is, you know, it's far easier for us to say in this type of environment, hey, we need your cans because we want to make this can dragon, you know. And people will be like, oh, you know, they'd be in that fun spirit, rather than saying, no, you have to recycle because your relationship with the planet is, you know, will determine your future. You know, that's not going to work. So we've worked really hard at our messaging, you know, to try and make it, you know, accessible and digestible and kind of fun and in tune with how people are in these environments, you know. So there's Jeff's rant on Bin Your Empties, you know. Okay, closing our eyes now, remember harnessing that cosmic energy again, because we've used a lot of that energy, we're a little bit tired, because we're going to be working so hard. We need to kind of fire ourselves up because we need to enjoy ourselves. It's a festival,